Good afternoon, America. Today is June the 16th, 2026, and it's Tuesday. I want to talk a little bit today about something I've been doing research on. I like to read my Bible, and I like to read certain other books I like to discuss. And so I came across this book called the Intergalactic History of Earth. So I started reading the book a little bit, excerpts from it, and I came across a topic called Project Genesis. Now we've all heard of this in some TV series like Star Trek or some other ones that have been shown on in movies and TV series. But I'd like to kind of inform the story of this topic and the creation of Genesis. And I'm going to start by reading an excerpt from Earth Origins and What is the Beginning of Earth, or Project Genesis. You know, a while back I was interested in the project of terraforming a planet or an environment where you can change an inhabitable surface of a planet to become a habitable surface. And I believe we can do this with Mars, and we can do this also with the moon if we decided to inhabit the moon as well. But as of last report, I've been told that we have about 25 million persons on the moon living. I don't know if that's true or not. Whether everything is possible in this day and age. Well, let me go forward with this. Most scientists believe that the planet is 4.5 billion years old, this planet here. Others believe it's 45 billion years old. I personally believe it's about 65 billion years old because of all the Earth cycles in it. And there have been 5 Earth cycles. We're going on the 6th Earth cycle, and I believe there's 7 Earth cycles. So I'm going to talk a little bit about something which is interesting to most of us, and to get away from these other distractions that we are involved in. I love to hear the stories about that people give about these UFOs that are being seen in the skies. Well, let me explain something here. Those beings are not just from the skies or extraterrestrials. They're also from Terra, from other times and generations, and basically some of them underground. Now, you may believe this or not, but many millions or billions of years ago, we had a prehistoric history on this planet, a prehistory. I'm not talking about the caveman or the Neanderthal or Cro-Magnon man, or even before him. I'm talking about reptilian type people. And this is basically true. We have evidence in our civilization of of certain societies and world nations and cultures that depict reptilian personnel in their culture. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the origin of Earth and what was the beginning. Let me start off here. Most scientists believe that the Earth was formed approximately 4.5 billion years. As I've said, it could be 4.5, it could be 45 billion years, or it could be 65 billion years. We do have traces of it being at least 5 cycles, Earth cycles old. And so from a solidified cloud of dust and gases that were remnants from the sun's formation. This, they believe, occurred during the same period that the rest of the solar system was created. Scientists also maintain that life on Earth started over 3.8 billion years ago. That's a little bit too early, I believe. Many believe that life evolved from rudimentary microbes. You believe that, I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Rudimentary microbes that became more complex as time progressed. The question is, how did these initial organisms take form and progress from the proverbial primordial soup? I'm going to ask a question, and I'm hoping that many of you can understand this and decipher it. If we are able to take a DNA sample and convert it into a being, or clone another human being from a sample of a cell, how much more so could we do it with the creation of beings and other species on this planet, or any planet, using the particles that we have around us? I'm going to continue here. Many believe that life evolved from rudimentary microbes that became more complex as time progressed. The question is, how did these initial organisms take form and progress from the proverbial primordial soup? Today, scientists are still uncertain when it comes to the origin of life on Earth. There are still ongoing discussions as to exactly how life started here. Amazingly, there are scientists and researchers that are considering whether life originated on Earth at all. My personal belief is that many of those dinosaurs that we find in the dirt and rocks and fossils in mountains didn't come from Earth. It came from another place. And there are stories and old legends of the moon being hollow. Now imagine this: you transfer you had the ark created by Noah, which transported all kinds of a pair of creatures from every place on this planet into one ark to survive a flood. Wouldn't it be the same feasible thing to transport other creatures and other beings from another solar system to transport to a habitable planet or terraformed planet and dropping them off? Think about that. Maybe it's too much thinking, but I would not give it any afterthought. All things are possible. Let me continue. The question is, how did these initial organisms take form and progress from the proverbial primordial soup? Today, scientists are still uncertain when it comes to the original life on Earth. There are still ongoing discussions as to exactly how life started here. Amazingly, there are scientists and researchers that are considering whether life originated on Earth at all. Some are in fact looking towards outer space to solve the mystery of the origin of life on Earth. A while back, I ran into a research by another scientist, saying that basically human beings are endowed with 23 genomes of DNA. Now consider this. What if those 23 genomes of DNA were from different species? You know, I was looking at a time when I used to go to the beach and soak in the sun, and I would be sunburnt. And I come home and it would take me a time to heal, and my skin started to peel. And I was wondering, I said, you know something? I peel like a lizard. I peel like a lizard. I have hair like a mammal. I have to drink water like a fish. This is kind of strange. A human being having all those traits. Let me continue. It's getting interesting now. The mystery of the origin of life on Earth. If we open our minds and expand the realm of possibilities, then we may find answers we have never imagined. Was the Earth transformed or terraformed? When it comes to how life came to be on Earth, several hypotheses have been put forward in recent years. Most are extremely unconventional. One such theory is that of the Earth having been terraformed by beings that were highly advanced in the areas of science and technology. If true, then these beings could be eons of years old and have reached creator status, meaning that they have the capability to create, maintain, and sustain life on other worlds. You know, this comes to a point where it talks about in the Bible. In Genesis, it says, "Let us make man in our image." Why didn't God say, "Let me make man in my image"? Let us make man in our image, as if there's more than one being present. I'm not contradicting what the Bible says. I'm just saying that that's what was said on the Bible. Let us make man in our image. The term terraforming was conceived by author Jack Williamson in his short story of Collision Orbit, which was published in Outstanding Science Fiction magazine in 1942. Terraforming is a hypothetical method of transforming an environment that is unsuitable for humans to dwell on into that is equipped for human habitation. It is a hypothetical of course, because we do not yet have the technology to terraform planets. We don't. But the idea is there. That's the main thing. You have the idea, you have the method, and you have the experiments and research. And if you're wise enough and scientific, indulged enough, you can create a terraformed environment. And wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, really, if we were able to terraform Mars and actually return to Mars and live on a sister planet, or for that fact, any other planet in the solar system, or any other planet after that. Am I getting too far ahead of myself? I think so. I'll never see that anyways. Terraform Mars or terraform Titan or any other planet that is terraformed. Though I do not take it from the human mind that they can create anything they want to create in imagination. If you're an artist or a creator of such. It is hypothetical, of course, because we do not yet have the technology to terraform planets. However, this theory is not unbelievable as it may seem. Scientists today are currently researching terraforming planets. In the various ways that we might one day do so. Interestingly, the idea is not lost on them that this is what may have happened with Earth billions of years ago. Some researchers today are considering the idea that advanced beings may have been responsible for incorporating life on Earth. In fact, it is thought that by some researchers that there may have been several alien worlds that had a hand in preparation. I said it ahead of time. I would say, and I re-emphasize, I believe that the human being is conceived out of many DNA or many cells. We have in our bodies multiple cells and organs, as there are many creations on this planet, many species, that there may have been several alien worlds that had a hand in the preparation, design, and development of life on Earth. It is believed that extraterrestrials could have planned everything from a breathable atmosphere to the creatures that would reside here. There he goes again. It has also been considered that large depositories may have been used for such a task. These depositories have been likened to a futuristic Noah's Ark. Again, I said the moon, an ark. This means that the extraterrestrials may have sent the seeds of life across the universe or universes to plant life on Earth and perhaps other areas of our solar system as well. So I would say that we had in a Project Genesis, but did it advance or did it fail? Let us see. In my previous book, The Moon's Galactic History, a look at the moon's extraterrestrial past and its connection to Earth, I relayed, ever wonder one thing I want to emphasize in this. Ever wonder one thing? If you had moons around Venus, moons around Saturn, moons around Neptune. And you can see the eastern side and the western side, but you can't see the eastern side of our moon. It swirls around the earth on the western side. You never see the back side or the dark side of the moon. Never see it. Wonder why. Satellite. Anyways, here we go. In my previous book, The Moon's Galactic History, I look at the moon's extraterrestrial past and its connection to Earth. I relayed the story of Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. Some may not take seriously the idea of a science fiction scenario being woven into Earth's history. However, the opportunity presents itself here to briefly tell his story once more with a focus on Earth. Roddenberry was known to sit in on channeled sessions with a woman named Phyllis Schlebmers, who was believed to have received channeled information from benevolent extraterrestrials. Today, they call them in the CIA, how do you call it, MK Ultra projects, mind control. They call them P3s. And in the UFO projects, they call them P3s as well, because they can maneuver the vehicles or the crafts, as the crafts are guided and they're piloted by mind control and not by toggles and switches and little buttons. No. The mind is a wonderful thing. And you are able to open up your pineal gland, which lies in the middle of your forehead. You see, the reason why humans, and excuse me if I say humans, is that human beings have been subjected to poisonings since the time of birth. They've been given fluoride, not only in their water, but in their toothpaste, which has calcified the pineal gland and has shut the door to, telepathy. You cannot operate in a telepathic mode with a calcified pineal gland or third eye. And these beings that we are experiencing with off-world terrestrials have the ability to be telepathic. Another little secret which I've also found is that you note that there's a lot of disappearances of young children and missing people, not of the United States of America. Foreign immigrants. Here's why. Some of those lands, some of those nations, they're not being infused with fluoride in their waters or given toothpaste to brush their teeth with, or their food being chemicalized. So therefore, the people are free and have a higher ability to focus their third eye. Some of the shamans reportedly say that they can see beyond their own spectra. Wouldn't it be wonderful? I mean, if the human race could be able to think freely. But you know, there are people, the evil people on this planet that want to control that. They want to control you the prospective human being who wants to go beyond his means, go beyond his enclosure. And Earth is your enclosure. You cannot travel beyond the hemisphere of this planet because others are watching you. Why is that? Freedom is not free. We have a long way to go. Let me continue with Project Genesis. However, the opportunity presents itself here to briefly tell his story once more, with a focus on Earth. Roddenberry was known to sit in on channeled sessions with a woman named Phyllis Schlemmer, who was believed to have been received channeled information from benevolent extraterrestrials. In that story, if that story isn't strange enough, the information obtained from Miss Schlemmer stated that the extraterrestrials were on vast ships that roamed the galaxy, the Federation of Intergalactic Planets. According to the information, the beings aboard the ships hailed from different worlds or different planets and had come together on a mission of peace. Roddenberry's idea for Star Trek is believed to have come from sitting in on those and possibly other extraterrestrial channeling sessions. We call that we have a project in our intel agencies that it's called remote viewing. We do not know all that transpired in those gatherings. However, it is thought that perhaps some of the scripts for Star Trek were inspired from information obtained during those meetings. One can only wonder if the following Star Trek movie came about because of one of these communications. This could certainly be a case of art imitating life. I was about to say that as well. Isn't it outstanding that sometimes art imitates life? Incredible, isn't it? And we're seeing that in our movies. Sometimes we go to a movie and say, wait a minute, I've seen that somewhere before. I saw that in a movie somewhere. Yeah. I think you're getting the idea, right? Okay. This could certainly be a case of art imitating life. In this case, it would be Star Trek imitating possible real-life events that may have taken place on Earth eons ago. To start, the information that Roddenberry is said to have received from Schlemmer closely resembles that what later became known as in the series as the United Federation of Planets. Where did we get that from? Wow. More commonly referred to as the Federation. According to the Star Trek Encyclopedia, the United Federation of Planets was an interstellar alliance of planetary governments and colonies united for mutual trade, exploratory, scientific, cultural, diplomatic, and defensive endeavors. On the Memory Alpha website, we are further educated about the UFP. It states that the UFP was a supranational interstellar union of multiple planetary nation states that operated anonymously under a single central government, founded on the principles of liberty, equality, peace, justice, and progress, with the purpose of furthering the universal rights of all sentient life. Federation members exchange knowledge and resource to facilitate peaceful cooperation, scientific development, space exploration, and mutual defense. The question is, could this federation or an extraterrestrial alliance of this type be real? And if it is, then what else is there about Star Trek that may be close to some reality that we are not aware of? That is something to think about. You know, I ran across a little story. Steven Spielberg, in his movie Close Encounters, relates in the last portion of the movie about some extraterrestrials that landed on Earth and came out of the vehicle, the craft, walked down the craft passageway, and were greeted by human beings, by leaders. But then there was a story. Where did Steven Spielberg get that from? As there was a same type of meeting by military personnel and three extraterrestrials who were Pleiadian beings. 3 of them. And this was located in Holloman Air Force Base. The end of the story. Yes, UFOs are real, and extraterrestrials are real. And there are many more species of extraterrestrials than people believe, not just 4 or 5. And many of them have visited Earth in their time on Earth. Now, I would say again, scientists believe that this world is 4.5 billion years old. Others say it's 45 billion years old. I believe it's 65 billion years old, with a lot of civilizations in between. My father used to say this all the time. Take that story and take it to the bank and cash it. And watch you get your return in back. Mark your interests. Anyways, thank you for listening. I'll be back some other time. God bless all of you. Think. Use your God-given gifts. Be well.